Oxford Dictionary defines philosophy as that department of knowledge which deals with ultimate reality or with the most general cause and principles of things. It is presumed here that science, inheriting the cosmological tradition, does not offer us the knowledge of ultimate reality. Only philosophy can do this. Science can only tell us how, whereas philosophy can tell us why things happen as they do. Although science to speak about the why or the cause and the general cause and principles of the philosopher are higher and more ultimate than the the cause and principles that science reveals to us. There are two very different forms of activity now go under the name of philosophy. One is essentially relation rational and critical with logical analysis in a broad sense at its heart. The other, represented by Heidegger, for example, is openly hostile to rational analysis and professes to arrive at general conclusion by a phenomenological institution and hermeneutical interpretation. The various school of thought belonging to these two branches make us of different procedures and methods which will be taken up in another unit. Aristotle considered philosophy as the first and last science. The first science because it is logically presupposed by every other science. The last because deals with reality in its ultimate principle and cause. He defines it as follows: there is a science which investigates being as being as being and the attributes which belongs to this in virtue of its own nature. Now this is not the same as any of the so-called spatial science, for none of these traits universally of being as being. They cut off a part of being and investigate the attribute of this part. Some philosophy and philosophizing receive some understanding about philosophy. It is necessary that we another notion which is apparently similar to it but very much different from it. The term philosophy is a noun, and just as any other noun, it serves as a subject or predicate of a sentence. So check your answer with those provided at the end of the unit. But we are discuss about today we discuss about in this video philosophy and wisdom, and what is philosophy and what is wisdom. We clarified the meaning of philosophy by referring to wisdom. Thus there is a close relation between philosophy and wisdom, but how close is this closeness. So, to understand this, we need first to clarify what the meant by wisdom, and by clarifying wisdom, we are clarify what philosophy is. All of us think, and rightly so, that we know what wisdom is, but when we are asked to think it aloud and the thematiz- themat, thematized it, we are at a loss. We do not quite know the way of express in clear and precise term that term what wisdom is, and thus to remove the vigorous surrounding notion of wisdom. Philosophy and wisdom, knowledge and wisdom. Now that we are Hello friends, today we will discuss about what is philosophy, its definition, scope and importance of philosophy. So in this unit you should be able to you should be able to understand basic understanding of philosophy, differentiate it from philosophizing, relate with related with the wisdom, understand all the comprehensive character of philosophy, and fifth one is to know the importance of philosophy both at the theoretical and practical level. So firstly we will discuss about definition of philosophy. Western philosophy was born in Greece. The term philosophy too has its roots in Greece, and in Greek language it is quite commonly known the philosophia. Etymologically means love of wisdom. Philia plus Sophia. But Sophia had a much wider range of applications than the modern English wisdom. Whatever intelligence can be exercised in practical affairs, in the mechanical arts, in business, there is room for Sophia. Herodotus used the verb philosophein in a context in which it means nothing more than the desire to find out. So we can find a gradual growth in the meaning of philosophy as we go through the history of thought.